a person or a small business can indeed take advantage of this solar that is, of course, first of all, free. Power from the sun is mostly free, and you do not get to pay a monthly bill. To bring us up to speed on that, two gentlemen here in studio. One is Andrew Ross, and he is from Metal, a company that specializes in putting up photovoltaic developments. That, of course, is just a name for solar energy. And, of course, well, Jibril Mohammed, he is a commercial director at Ofgen, a company that is based here in Kenya. The two companies have come together to create a company that is bringing an all-rounded solution to businesses here in Nairobi. And to bring us well up to speed on just that, let me start with you, Jibril. You are from Nairobi. What is Ofgen and what are you doing with this company from South Africa?
And so basically, Ofgen is a solar EPC, meaning engineering, procurement, and a construction company.
Yes.
Specializing particularly in solar.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been constructing solar plants on behalf of very many clients.
Yes.
Considering what Kenya, just to give you an overview, that we sit right on equator, and our country is very much blessed with enough sun.
Mm-hmm.
So many clients tend to have issues with their power outages and, of course, quality of power. And we have this free resource that anyone could. So we decided our business model will be based on a business model which we partnered with Metal, for that matter, because upfront cost of solar PV is always on the higher side.
Mm-hmm.
So on this, we chose to partner with Metal in South Africa in order to be able to pre-finance the solar PV project.
Mm-hmm. Let's come to you, Andrew. South Africa definitely is a bigger market than Kenya. They expect that things like these solar projects have had a bit more, well, so to say, been there for a longer period. People have had longer experiences. What exactly does Metal do down there, and what are you bringing to the Kenyan market?
So Metal forms part of a listed company called Tradehold, which is listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and we're a subsidiary of that company.
Yes.
We invest in the South African and Namibian market, particularly over the last couple of years, in commercial and industrial and utility scale projects.
Yes.
So we fully fund those projects, and we own the plants, we sell the power and the electrons that are generated from the sun, either to the government or the utilities, and we also sell it to private businesses and off-takers. So a lot of our clients are typically in the Namibian and South African market are typically shopping centres and big commercial off-takers. So we see the Kenyan market as a big growth area. There's clearly a big demand in this market due to the cost that we can build the plants at, the price that we can sell the electricity at versus the prices that need to be paid to KPLC. So we see a very big and interested business community as a result of that differential.
And part of the challenge with our country has been the fact that there has not been a lot of activity around these areas. So you're mostly starting from the ground up.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, the skepticism is around fast quality, sustainability, vis-a-vis the cost. What has been the impact so far?
Yeah, so we found that has actually been a big advantage for us, and part of the reason why we partnered with Ofgen is that the implementation of these projects, I think, has historically had a bit of a bad name in poor quality installations. And the reality is that these projects and the equipment should be designed to last for between 20 and 25 years. So we bring all that experience from South Africa. We've installed 15 megawatts of projects in the South African and Namibian market to the Kenyan market. So we bring that experience, we bring the team, we bring the financial capacity to be able to invest ourselves in projects without having to raise any external capital. So we can implement projects for business very quickly at anything from 100 kilowatts, like we did with Swissport, all the way up to many megawatts that we're working on a handful of clients with.
Let me come to you, Jibril. The fact of the matter has been that for a lot of Kenyans, when they hear solar, they first think solar water heaters.
Yes.
But there's so much more to this industry than just that. Maybe you can outline for us what some of the initiatives, like he's mentioned, the Swiss Spot project that you have been undertaking, and what these are, so that maybe we can start to differentiate what the potential for this industry is.
Well, so to clarify, solar is basically, the source is the sun itself.
Yes.
And you have your modules, you have the panels, the inverters. What happens after is you have power generated, which you can use for any other power connections. So you can pump water with it, you can heat water, you can cool the refrigerations, and you can light as well. So it comes out as a one source of power. Of course, I mean, in Kenya market, we were trying, I mean, the regulatory has not been very quick compared to our expectation in the industry. But now it's working towards it to educate people on what solar PV is all about. Just to give you an idea that the project that we've just recently completed at Swiss Spot JKIA, which is about 104 kilowatt, I mean, that can offtake about 30% of the entire facility power demand.
What sort of savings would they be looking at? Because I know part of your job is power audits.
Yes.
If you were to install that kind of unit, what's the ballpark cost up front? How much savings would you be looking at in your power bill in a year?
So this is what happens is often first role is energy audits. We audit a facility, we look at their demand, and we see where we can save our company's energy. And this is what we did with Swiss Spot. And from our audits, we were able to give a recommendations, which was implemented by the company, and they were able to save for start, I think about 15 or 18% of the entire demand. So what we anticipate is at the end of a couple of years, a year or so, but there will be more savings in terms of overall costings. But first thing we always recommend is that
the audit.
Yes, is that an audit needs to be done so that we know where we can save on. But from the system, yes.
I have to cut you short right there, because I'm told that Raila Odinga, that of course is the NASA flag bearer, is currently addressing the crowds that have gathered in Kericho to receive the NASA campaign. And he is at this moment of the podium, and we want you to just be able to listen in to the proceedings for a few minutes.
Watu yake yule, najua watu ambaye walifundishwa wakati wa ukoloni